And it looked like the Cleveland Browns locker room is ready to turn on Kevin Stefanski a day before tomorrow's matchup against the any coach, man. The biggest fear, I feel like, is your team turning on you in locker room drama. Well, I'm here to tell you, insiders and people that is close to the Cleveland Browns football team is letting it be known that is exactly the case that is boiling and brewing in the Cleveland Browns locker room.
Breaking news out of Cleveland. And no, it's not about another factory of sadness. It's spicier than that. Word going around is the Browns locker room is boiling hotter than a Sunday pot roast, and all eyes are on Coach Kevin Stefanski, who might just be hiding something about Shedeur Sanders. The whispers are flying, the tension is thick, and insiders are saying the players are turning on each other faster than Wi-Fi during a thunderstorm. The big question everyone's asking, why isn't Shedeur playing?
It's starting to get real ugly in Cleveland, man. Now there's been an article released about Kevin Stefanski losing the locker room and the veteran players eventually turning their back on the head coach. And we got a lot to unpack. Man, I'm here to tell you, man, the rumor mill is starting to swirl, man. We getting some new information out of Cleveland that the Cleveland Browns veteran players are about to turn their back on Kevin Stefanski. And is he losing control over the locker room? Now, we've seen this whole quarterback situation play out through the draft.
Some guys in that locker room are reportedly furious, saying it's like the team's running a reality show instead of a football program. There's talk of frustration bubbling up so bad, it's about to spill all over the internet. And from what's leaking out, things are messy. Coach Stefanski's right in the middle of it all, taking more heat than the Browns' defense during a blowout. This time, it's not about play calling, not about Deshaun Watson's inconsistency. It's about a rookie quarterback who hasn't even touched the field. And yet somehow, Shedeur Sanders has managed to turn the entire Cleveland facility into the N.F.L's newest drama series. Imagine that, a player who hasn't thrown a pass, taken a hit, or even laced up in a regular season game, already causing this much noise. What a wild scene. That's Cleveland for you. If there's peace, they'll find a way to start a storm. It's like the city signed a lifetime contract to deliver at least one football circus every fall. Other teams argue over blown coverages or bad play calls, but the Browns, they're out here hosting debates over a rookie who hasn't even touched the turf yet. It's wild. You know your franchise is cursed when the biggest controversy comes from a guy still holding a clipboard.
Is that the veteran players and a lot of these guys in the locker room want Shedeur Sanders to play. They want Shedeur Sanders not only to play, but to start. They do not want Joe Flacco in there. They do not want Dylan Gabriel above Shedeur. These are players that is on the Cleveland Browns team. Because you want to know why? Because if Shedeur play and Shedeur starts, everybody wins. Everybody make more money because now the interest in the team is hotter than every team in the NFL. Ticket sales go up, merchandise sales go up. Just anything with the Cleveland Browns is going to go up if they make this set.
It's like fighting over a birthday cake that's not even out of the oven, and then realizing someone forgot to buy the frosting. But somehow, the whispers just won't die down. Sources say some players are starting to question if Stefanski's lost his grip, his nerve, or maybe even the locker room altogether. And get this, it's not because the offense fell apart or the defense got torched on Sundays. Nope. The uproar is over Shedeur Sanders still standing on the sideline.
You address this sort of persistent narrative that you're trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders, especially after yesterday and not putting him in for the 2-minute.
Yeah, obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better, and that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important.
That's the crime. The tension isn't about film sessions or playbook tweaks. It's about what that empty spot on the field represents to the guys watching him wait. And that's where the real drama kicks in. Patience can look a lot like stubbornness. And in Cleveland, stubbornness burns hotter than gasoline on fire. What started as calm optimism has exploded into full-blown frustration. It's almost poetic how fast this whole thing unraveled. A rookie with swagger walks into the building, dripping confidence like he's born for the spotlight, and suddenly the veterans who've been bleeding for this team start whispering, "He's the one." You'd think the Browns would crave a little peace after all the chaos. But nah, stability doesn't trend. Drama does. Drama sells, distracts, and keeps the group chats buzzing long after the locker room clears out. And now, Shedeur Sanders is right at the center of it all. The new lightning rod for Cleveland's favorite pastime. Chaos with a side of hope.
Shedeur Sanders ended the game. The offensive coordinator must have went to sleep or something. Straight up like that. I don't know what happened, what was going on. Or the receiver coach took over the play calls for the first time in his career. Things changed for the offense when Shedeur Sanders came into that game. All of a sudden, when Shedeur enters the game, the Browns are a pass-first team, run second. I sure didn't like the sequence of play calling when Shedeur Sanders entered the game. Pass first, run second. That is never the Cleveland Browns model. And to me, that play calling was done intentionally.
This is the city that worships potential like it's prophecy. The fans are starving for a spark, something that finally feels like destiny after decades of quarterback roulette. Shedeur isn't just a player to them. He's a walking promise. That's why the tension's skyrocketing so fast. He's been cast as the future before he's even taken a hit. And logic? It's been tossed into the locker with the sweaty towels. No one's talking about development or patience anymore. That doesn't go viral. What goes viral is speculation, side eyes, and quarterback controversy.
Is letting it be known, Shedeur ain't sniffing that first team. We should have known that was the way they was gonna keep it when Kenny first went down. When Kenny first went down, they made sure Shedeur didn't get no first rep. Now that was the tone setter. I didn't realize that, and I tried to give it a little leeway. But Kevin ain't studying Shedeur right now. He's not studying Shedeur.
And that's the storm Stefanski's stuck in right now. It doesn't matter that Shedeur hasn't faced real N.F.L. pressure yet. It doesn't matter that sitting could help him grow. Because in Cleveland, perception is reality. And reality's now choking under the weight of wild expectations. The Browns didn't need drama, but man, they found it anyway. The Browns have already mastered the art of heartbreak. It's practically part of their DNA. But now, with Shedeur Sanders stepping into the picture, there's a brand new script unfolding. A storyline where a rookie's aura is louder than his resume, and where a head coach's grip on his team feels like it's slipping right through his fingers. And honestly, it's not even shocking anymore. This is Cleveland. Chaos is tradition. N.F.L. locker rooms are fragile ecosystems, full of alpha personalities locked in together day and night.
Unusual play calling when Shedeur is playing. Then I'm thinking he has to get a chance to run this 2-minute drill. He has to get fair play calling, and they have to call plays correctly in this 2-minute drill. There's no way to sabotage this 2-minute drill. Then boom, he snatched out of the game. What logical reason can Kevin Stefanski have for snatching Shedeur Sanders out of the game for the 2-minute drill to put a young man they just signed from off the streets into the 2-minute drill that you 9 times out of 10 probably don't have any chance of him making the team? I was also waiting to see how Dylan Gabriel respond coming back from halftime, but he was snatched and Shedeur was put in with the bogus players. And
these are grown men spending more time with teammates than family, trapped in meetings, film rooms, cafeterias, and wait sessions until the pressure finally makes someone snap. And there's Shedeur Sanders, sitting clean and composed on the bench, while the fans outside are practically losing their minds, begging to see him throw just one NFL pass. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Most NFL vets don't even care about social media. Half of them can't reset their Wi-Fi routers without help. But now, suddenly they're glued to their phones like teenagers, scrolling through YouTube highlights and Instagram reels of Shedeur torching college defenses.
Things that Kevin Stefanski is saying and the way he's going about things, some things are just not adding up. And Ryan Clark of ESPN basically exposed Kevin Stefanski this morning on Get Up. He had a very interesting take on Kevin Stefanski's motive. Also, this is all surrounded around naming Joe Flacco QB1 for opening day against Cincinnati. Well, that came to no surprise. Now the big question is, who is your QB?
They're replaying those clips, him dropping 40-yard lasers, flexing on defenders, flashing that icy wristwatch celebration after touchdowns. And once those videos start bouncing around the locker room, the energy shifts fast. You can almost hear the whispers building, spreading from one player to another. Before long, the thoughts planted deep in everyone's mind. Why not let the kid take a shot? The suspense is electric, and the tension, it's only getting louder. The problem is simple. This ain't Colorado anymore, and it sure isn't some random Pac-12 showdown. This is the N.F.L, baby, where rookies meet reality. Shedeur Sanders isn't up against undersized college defenders now. He's facing men with mortgages, bruised ribs, and 40-yard dashes that look straight out of a video game.
If you're a football fan, we clearly know what you did. We clearly know that the plays that you gave for Dylan Gabriel, throwing the check down underneath to make him look good. Same plays for Flacco. Then you throw Shedeur in the game with a tight end whose name ain't even on the roster, and some other players. And then you have them run long routes.
These are defensive ends who sprint like track stars but hit like refrigerators on wheels. One wrong read, and you're tasting turf before you can blink. Still, that buzz in the locker room won't quit. The vets feel it, the young guys feed off it, and soon everyone's whispering the same thing. Maybe he's the one. It doesn't even matter that the jump from Saturdays to Sundays is like going from karaoke night to a sold-out Madison Square Garden concert. The narrative's already written in their heads. Shedeur Sanders equals spark. Spark equals wins. Wins equals salvation. And that's what makes this whole thing so wild. Shedeur hasn't even played yet. Not one snap, not one pass, but somehow he's splitting the room in two. The vets are side-eyeing coaches like they've lost the plot, while the younger guys are quietly hyping up their guy, treating him like the chosen one. The whole vibe feels less like a football team and more like a Netflix reality show. Keeping up with the Browns. You can almost picture it. Black and white confessionals. Defensive tackles mumbling about leadership. Wide receivers saying they need excitement. And linemen shaking their heads like the coach just doesn't get it.
What's happening in the training camp, seen what's happening in practice, and we've seen what's happening in preseason. Now, all camp long, there's reports that was surfacing and people in the media talking about the treatment of Shedeur Sanders and also Dylan Gabriel. But we all know it was heavy against Shedeur Sanders, where there's reports out there that they wasn't giving him an opportunity. They wasn't giving him no reps with the first.
It's not that they hate Stefanski. It's that the hype's gravitational pull is stronger than any game plan. Now, instead of focusing on playbooks and execution, distractions are creeping into every corner of Berea. Guys are watching Shedeur highlights at breakfast, replaying them before practice, and whispering about him in the weight room like it's some secret movement. Once that kind of energy catches fire, no speech or sideline stare can put the genie back in the bottle. The Browns are living in a full-blown spectacle, and the season hasn't even hit halftime. Logic might still be written neatly on Stefanski's clipboard, but inside that locker room, the hype has already won. Shedeur Sanders isn't just buzz, he's a full-on brand. He's got the swagger, the shine, and the Deion Sanders DNA that screams superstardom before he's even suited up. And let's be real, it's not hard to outshine the Browns brand, because for decades, that name's been more of a punchline than a powerhouse. This is the same franchise that once drafted Johnny Manziel like he was a Hollywood leading man instead of a quarterback, and then acted shocked when the whole experiment crashed faster than a viral TikTok trend. You'd think Cleveland learned its lesson about chasing hype, but here they are again, watching the same movie with a new cast.
Stefanski's a hell of a coach. If Stefanski buys in, they buy in together, Stefanski can turn, he's a pocket passer. Stefanski does great with pocket passers. He had Flacco, he had Winston. Them are pocket passers. Watson's not a pocket passer. Stefanski was horrible with Watson. So with Shedeur, if Stefanski put the blinders on and just let the boy cook and be fair about it, it might be a match
Now, Stefanski's not crazy. He's not about to toss a rookie into the fire just to feed social media's thirst for highlights. But players, they don't see it that way. They're thinking, we're not winning enough. Why not try the kid? It's like having a brand new sports car sitting in your driveway, but still showing up to work in a minivan. Eventually, someone's gonna ask the question, why not take it for a spin? And once that thought hits the locker room, it spreads faster than a group chat rumor. Because here's the truth about NFL locker rooms. It's never just about stats or performance. It's about belief. If enough guys start believing that one player can change everything, that belief becomes contagious. It shifts the mood, the energy, even the chemistry on the field. And right now, that belief belongs to Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who hasn't played a snap but already owns the room. Right now, the Browns' energy feels split straight down the middle. Half the locker room swears Stefanski knows exactly what he's doing, while the other half whispers that he's gatekeeping a superstar. And once a coach starts losing the room, it doesn't matter what's written on the playbook. The season starts to unravel fast. You can feel that tension building like static in the air. Shedeur Sanders is the perfect storm for a situation like this. Young, confident, and dripping with charisma. He's got that celebrity aura, the kind that pulls younger players in like moths to a flame. The vets? Some are flat out tired of the hype, while others can't help but wonder if maybe, just maybe, this kid really is the missing piece. It's messy, it's emotional, and it's classic Cleveland drama at its finest. It's like being asked to pick between pineapple pizza and anchovies. No matter what side you take, somebody's yelling at you. But this whole scene isn't new in the NFL. Just look back at Tim Tebow with the Broncos. The locker room split, fans went wild, and before long, coaches were forced to bow to the hype. The key difference? Tebow actually had that miracle playoff run to back it up. Shedeur hasn't even had his preseason moment yet, but the buzz surrounding him is already bigger. That's how magnetic his presence is. And let's not pretend the Browns are strangers to quarterback chaos. This franchise has burned through quarterbacks like people burn through phone chargers.
Stefanski says we don't, here it is, Ocho. Here's Kevin Stefanski not letting Shedeur run the 2-minute drill at the end of the game with the Browns. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Kevin, it was obviously a bit of a rough second half for Shedeur and the entire Browns offense, but why didn't you keep him in for the 2-minute drill? Why did you decide to put Tyler in?
Yeah, obviously we didn't play great as an offense in the second half. That's never on one person. So we can be better in a bunch of areas. And just felt like we wanted to get.
Every few years, it's the same tired script. A new savior shows up, the hype machine goes into overdrive, and by Thanksgiving, everyone's already debating who the next savior should be. Shedeur Sanders is just the latest name in Cleveland's endless cycle of quarterback roulette. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the frustration rumbling through the team, a mix of envy, hope, and pure exhaustion. These players are out there busting their bodies every week, grinding for every inch, every win. And from their perspective, the guy who could bring that extra spark is just standing on the sideline holding a clipboard. To them, that's wasted opportunity. But to Kevin Stefanski, it's strategy, it's patience and discipline. Two completely different realities colliding inside one locker room, and the tension is thick enough to cut with a helmet. What makes it all even crazier is that the Browns actually don't need more chaos right now, but somehow they keep finding it anyway. Add in the noise from the outside world, and it's a full-blown storm. Fans are already chanting Shedeur like he's the second coming of football royalty. Social media is packed with flashy highlight edits, half of them made by teenagers who couldn't name 3 Browns players if you asked them. But that doesn't matter. The hype machine's spinning nonstop, and the media's eating it up because nothing sells clicks faster than a quarterback controversy. And the players? They're not robots. They see it, they hear it, and sooner or later, some start to believe it. That's how locker rooms start to crack. Coaches can survive bad play calls or tough losses, but once the players stop believing in you, once they think you're the problem standing in the way of progress, it's game over. You can bet Stefanski feels that heat right now. Even if he's making the right football decision, perception has already taken over reality. And the perception is brutal, that he's the one blocking Shedeur Sanders' rise to the throne. The spotlight's on him whether he likes it or not. So what happens next? Does Stefanski cave to the pressure and unleash the rookie to quiet the noise? Or does he double down, hold his ground, and risk losing the locker room completely? Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. If he plays Shedeur too early, he risks breaking the kid before he's ready. If he waits too long, he risks breaking the team. It's like juggling knives while blindfolded. And right now, every wrong move cuts a little deeper. You can shine for a moment, but sooner or later, something sharp is bound to drop. And that's where the Browns always end up, teetering on the edge of greatness, only to slip on their own banana peel of chaos. Shedeur Sanders might be the future they've been dreaming of, or he might just become another heartbreaking chapter in the team's endless quarterback saga. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that the Browns can't just play football. They've got to turn it into a full-blown soap opera. And this year's storyline? Oh, it's crystal clear. Shedeur Sanders versus Kevin Stefanski. One represents the flash, the hype, the promise of a fresh era. The other stands for patience, control, and old-school discipline. And stuck in the middle? A locker room split down the middle, picking sides like they're in the middle of a messy family feud? You can feel the tension humming under every conversation, every practice, every headline. One thing's for sure, no matter how this story unfolds, it's going to be peak Browns. Chaos, controversy, and pure entertainment. Cleveland wouldn't have it any other way. So keep your eyes on this circus, because it's far from over. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because this saga's just getting started, and you won't want to miss what comes next.